Okay, well, Jen, I should have taken her out, sorry.
Aw.
Stephanie gets to go first.
Thanks for the question. I think that we need to start to use technology to our advantage. Frankly, the young people that's where they are, and they're the social networking, blogs, Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. We've got to use that in order to reach these folks. We've even found now with GOTV, it's changing the whole dynamics of that because many of them don't have landlines anymore. It's just cell phones, so that's another issue. But I think we have to use technology to reach these young folks, and I think then we need to go back to the old time method, which is grassroots organizing, which that's my bread and butter. I love doing that. We need to go to the colleges, community colleges, universities, workplaces where the young people are, talk to them about what we stand for and why it's important to be involved in our party, because they didn't come out and vote during the last election cycle, and that's a real problem for us. We need to energize them, show them the party's taking a new direction. It has new energy. We're bringing in new constituency groups, and I didn't get to expand on that, but that's what I really worked on during the anti-Tabor and anti-Pileski. We had many young folks. In fact, Justin Alfon and I worked very closely together with the League of Young Voters in Portland. So we need to reach those groups as well. Thank you.
Oh. John.
Oh, thank you. It's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking it. I think that it's absolutely true that we need to bring young people in, but as I said earlier, we have to show them or give them a reason to be part and parcel of this party. And my concern is this, that we have spent an awful lot of energy and time telling people what we stood for. And while that's important, I think people, younger people especially, but all groups from all walks of life and all ages, need to feel that they can come to us, come to the party with thoughts and ideas expressing their needs, their wants, and their desires. And what I'm suggesting to you is I don't get the sense that young people, working people, poor people, environmental folks, do not feel that this is the best place for them to air their concerns. And I think we need to turn that around. I think besides just telling people what our party stands for and represents, we need to listen to what the people of this state have to say. And I think if they feel that we're being genuine about that we really do care about their concerns and their needs, that we will bring young people in. But if we just tell them, they've heard this stuff before, you know, and in 2008, there were more young people in the state involved in that campaign than I have ever seen in my lifetime. And I think as to why that is, and it was because the major top of the ticket candidate was taking time to listen to what young people, working people, people everywhere had to say.
Melissa.
Well, here's where we start to diverge. There actually is a huge hole in the main Democratic Party and its affiliated groups. We have college Dems, but we don't have the intermediate group called Young Democrats. It is a nationwide organization of which there is no chapter in the state of Maine. So how do we get young people into the party? Yes, there is social networking and all of that. How about we do what the rest of the country has done and start the main chapter of the Young Democrats? We have college Dem representatives on the state committee who are about to leave those positions because they are graduating from college. We have young people like Eddie Lackowitz in Kennebec County who are involved with the party. We need to task them with forming the Young Democrats organization that focuses on young people between the ages of 22 and 35 and utilize that national organization to develop our base. The second piece we need to utilize is the Roosevelt Institution. It is the only student think tank in the entire country, and it is a progressive student think tank. I was lucky enough to be requested as the senior advisor to the Yale chapter and help them organize and form. These young folks have a bundle of energy, and they also have a never-ending supply of position papers that they can make available to the party in order to support our candidates in our legislative positions. We need to develop those two resources. We have no Roosevelt Institution chapters in the state, and we have a significant education system for them to operate out of, and we need to utilize the existing structure of the Young Democrats.
Ben?
I think engaging the young people in Maine requires a couple different things. I think one, it takes leadership from the top to engage in recruiting them. We've got to ask them. We've got to go to where they are and ask them to participate. But we also got to give them leadership roles. We've got to trust young people to do the things that we've always done, because that's the only way they're going to learn. And that's the only way they're going to be invested in what's going on, is if we get them involved and say, we're going to give you something to do, and we're going to trust you to do it. I think John's absolutely right. We've got to make sure we have a reason for them to want to help us out. I mean, whether it's paying attention to policies and programs that help young people, whether it's the cost of college education or affordable housing or organizing restaurant workers in Portland or anything like that specific to a younger generation. I think and this is a theme that carries over not just to young people, but we have to be making these asks constantly. It can't just be a campaign ask. I mean, the party's got to be engaged and engaging people every day, every month, every year to build progressive networks, to build structure, and to get people engaged in issues that don't necessarily result in election day, but maybe it's a lobbying effort or a referendum campaign or something that engages them constantly. So we're not just asking them, every September we need you to come out and knock on doors for our candidates. So I think those are three things that I would say that would really help attract young people.